going to listen to our story from yesterday about the turtle and the flute. And we are listening to see if we can find our vocabulary words that we just listened to. See if you can find your vocabulary words in each of these sections of the story. And then also, I'm going to have two questions for you at the end of this story. But you don't know what the questions are going to be, so you have to listen really, really well.
The Turtle and the Flute, a tale from Brazil. What are the different sounds that these animals hear in the jungle? Long ago, on the banks of the Amazon River, a happy little turtle played her flute all day. She played joyful music that made all the animals sway and hum. They gathered every day to listen. Macaw squawked, "I can talk and talk all day, but I'd rather listen to you play, Turtle." "I agree," croaked Toad, as he swayed to the music on his lily pad. "Your music is the nicest in the jungle." Turtle also loved to dance to the music as she played. She leaped around on the jungle floor, hopping and jumping from flower to flower. Tapir whistled as Turtle played and danced, while Macaw sang along to the lovely song.
Did you hear the one vocabulary word that was in that section? They listened as Toto played the flute. Listen was in that section. Let's see if we can listen and find some other words in this section.
One day, after Turtle had played and danced for hours, she was very tired. "I think it is time to rest. Good night, my friends," she said as she yawned. After her friends waved goodbye, Turtle curled up inside her shell with her flute tucked in beside her. Soon she was fast asleep. After a few hours, a man walked by. He looked down and saw Turtle sleeping on the riverbank. He decided to take her home. He looked around to make sure nobody was watching. He picked her up and exclaimed, "Yum! Turtle soup will make a tasty treat for dinner tonight." The man carefully carried Turtle home. He put her in a sturdy cage in his yard and then closed the lid tightly. His children were playing nearby. They ran over to the cage to see what was inside. "Don't let the turtle out of the cage," the man said to them. "Tonight we will enjoy delicious turtle soup for our dinner."
Did you hear the vocabulary word that was in that section? The man exclaimed, "Yum, turtle soup." So he exclaimed, he said it very excitedly. So that is our vocabulary word. Okay, keep your listening ears on because we have some more to find.
Then the man went to work in the fields. The children stayed home and played in the yard. Every once in a while, they would peek into the cage at the little turtle. They started to chat about the yummy turtle soup they would have for dinner later. When Turtle woke up, she knew she was not in a familiar place. She was surprised to find herself locked in a cage. She became very frightened when she heard the children say, "turtle soup." "I must escape," she thought. She pushed and pulled on the lid of the cage, but it wouldn't budge. Then she had an idea. Turtle reached for her flute and began to play. She played the most beautiful music that she knew. The children stopped to listen. "Listen! Turtle is playing the flute," they shouted. They ran over to the cage and watched Turtle play. They began to sway to the beautiful music. "I can dance as well as play," said Turtle. "I can even play and dance at the same time. If you open the cage, I will show you." The children opened the cage, and Turtle started to dance.
Did you hear two vocabulary words in that section? The children started to chat with one another about the turtle soup. So chat flute was in that section. And then Toto woke up and found out she was not in a familiar place. Familiar means something you know, or something that you know all about. So she was in a place that she did not know about. We have one more vocabulary word to find. Let's see if we can find it in the next section.
Turtle's shell banged against the sides of the cage as she danced. The volume of the flute became louder. The children laughed and clapped. I am stiff from dancing in this tiny cage, Turtle stopped and said. Please let me go for a short walk. The children wanted Turtle to entertain them more, so they let her out. May I try your flute? The boy asked. I would love to play beautiful music too. As the boy played, Turtle crawled away. Don't go too far, his sister warned. Turtle crawled around the yard as the children took turns playing the flute. Soon, the children stopped watching, and Turtle crawled closer to the forest. Then, she quietly disappeared under a pile of leaves. The children suddenly looked up and noticed that Turtle was gone. Turtle, Turtle, they called. Where are you? But there was no answer. Turtle tricked us, they said. By the time the man returned home from the fields, Turtle was far away, sitting on the banks of the river once again, playing happy tunes on her new flute.
So the volume of the flute kept getting louder and louder. Volume, or how loud or soft the sound is, was the vocabulary word in that section. Okay, I have 2 questions for you. So did you have your listening ears on? Were you listening really well? My first question is, what place was familiar to Toto? What place did she know about really well? The banks of the river. It was familiar to her because that's where she lived, and she saw it every day, so she knew all about it. Here is the second question. As the children played with the flute, Toto decided to do something. What was it? Toto decided to escape, didn't she? And she sure was able to escape. You guys are such good listeners. Thank you for listening to the story today.